This is James Holder for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're in Las Vegas. We've just witnessed a very strange occurrence. IBF champion Randy Caballero's come in 5 pounds overweight. Lee Haskins bang on weight. Can you explain to us what's going to happen now, Jamie?
Well, Caballero's now lost the title on the scales, and the fact that Lee Haskins was the interim champion, he will now be elevated to full world champion.
So technically, you've now got 2 world champions within your stable, is that right?
Yeah, 2 IBF world champions. Yeah, amazing.
Let's talk a little bit about Lee Haskins' initial reaction when he realised that Caballero had failed to make the weight. What was his initial response?
He didn't even realise. He was sat down just getting his clothes back on, probably thinking about the face-to-face. He didn't even hear the announcement or anything, so when I went over and told him he was 5 pounds over, he swore, you know. And then obviously the initial thing is, well, what's going to happen? So yeah, you know, when I'd be able to sit him down and explain to him that he's been elevated to world champion, you know, he was pleased. But I think he's just getting over that emotion. He was ready for battle. He was ready for the fight. He's not going to be able to showcase himself in Las Vegas on the biggest stage. So it's a disappointment as a sportsman not to be able to do that. But yeah, the main thing is we were coming here to win the world title, and we're going home with it.
It's a bittersweet victory, really, for him, isn't it? Because he has got the world title.
Yeah.
Nothing will change that. But the fact he hasn't beat a champion to take that world title, and as you said, on the biggest stage available to him, it will be a bit of a sour note for him looking back on that. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, it's a shame, and you know, he won't get paid a purse for the fight. So as you know, he's already booked a holiday and whatnot. So financially, it's a hit, but he'll go back now, and we can sit down and, you know, for once in his career, he's now going to have big options. You know, big options. He's the IBF world champion.
I mean, Golden Boy are such a big organisation. They've been very fair in the past when things have happened. Is there any chance that you can maybe sit down and even claim back the expenditure and what Haskins and his team have laid out in coming to Vegas, in his expenses in his training camp? Would you think that something like that can be worked out?
To be honest, you know, Golden Boy, Robert Diaz, Oscar, Eric, they've all been great, to be honest. They're bitterly disappointed. Randy was one of their sort of younger flagship fighters coming through, so they were deeply shocked. But we've had initial conversations, and we're going to sit down, and they've assured us that we'll come to some fair agreement to at least, you know, look at recompensing our expenditure. So Golden Boy are a class act, so I'm sure we'll get something sorted out.
It's a bit of a strange one though, because myself and other media, we've been talking to Randy Caballero all week. There was no inclination that he was going to miss the weight. He seemed pretty comfortable, pretty strong, and he didn't look dry at any point. So what do you think's happened here?
I seen him at the press conference yesterday, and you know, you guys probably would have seen him. He was just swanning around the media centre afterwards, and I thought to myself, cool, he looks relaxed. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I was just shocked. You know, the way he was talking at the press conference, he was bang on weight. You know, saying all the usual things, but he looked well. He didn't look drawn, but obviously, you know, it was because he was probably about 8 or 10 pounds overweight by then, I guess. You know, we don't know.
Yeah. Was there any sort of negotiation from Golden Boy's part to try and stage the fight, even though there's such a huge weight difference? Was there any sort of attempted negotiation?
Yeah, they asked the question if we wanted to take the fighter at catch weight, but it made no sense to us. You know, first of all, he's 5.5 pounds over, so he wouldn't have even made super bantam. And the fact that Haskins was elevated to IBF champion, if we had boxed Caballero and lost, we would have lost the world title. So it just made no sense at all. Now we go back, we can enjoy Christmas and put to plan, you know, a first world title defence.
Very bizarre circumstances to win a world title. And
very surreal.
Very surreal. And more surreal, you've now got 2 world champions called Lee.
Yeah, I know, it's a nightmare when people sort of message me, oh, can we speak to Lee about this or Lee? And I'm like, which Lee?
Yeah, 2 IBF champions called Lee.
Yeah.
Work that one out.
I know, and it won't be long till Andrew Selby's up there.
Listen, if we can change his name to Lee, you might set three Lees in one organisation.
Definitely.
Have you spoke to your old man? What's his response been? No doubt he's been on the phone.
Yeah, you know, he was, you know, again, just trying to sort of comprehend it, but he straight away said, look, if he's that weight, we're not fighting. Doesn't matter what the finances are.
I bet.
You know. Yeah.
Because it is dangerous for Caballero as much as it is Lee Haskins to fight that way, isn't it? It's not.
It's just not. Yeah, and he looked dead on the scales. You know, he'd obviously tried to get the weight off. Like, you know, I'd imagine he's been in the sauna, etc., etc. So it was just no brainer really that the fight had to sort of not be staged.
Well, we can only speculate on that as it is. We haven't had the chance to talk to Randy Caballero as of yet and see what his excuses are for missing weight. But from your point of view, from Lee Haskins' point of view, it is sort of a bittersweet moment, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, it is surreal. You know, you build up all week for this big fight, and it's just gone. You know, but yeah, we're going home world champion.
So just confirmation, he has been elevated to full world champion.
Yeah.
He is now the IBF champion.
I asked the IBF about 10 times as well.
I just want to clarify it before I move on from this point.
I said, sure, so
it's 100% sorted.
Yeah, so it's 100%. So he'd be world champion, and we can move on. Big things.
Congratulations to Lee Haskins.
Thanks.
He's come to Vegas, not laced up a glove, done a bit of roulette and won a world title. So
how many Brits come to Vegas and win a world title?
Listen, how many Brits come to Vegas and not throw a punch and win a world title?
It's like Willie Pett.
Absolutely brilliant. Listen, congratulations to you, the team. I know you've done a sterling job getting him to this point, and we look forward to seeing some big defences, hopefully in UK shores in the future.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Top man, thank you.